What's up guys, Dan here at Coalcracker Bushcraft. Today we're going to be taking a little trip down memory lane. We're going to be looking at one of my caches, or what you would say cache if you're very fancy, also known possibly as a stash camp. There's all different like versions of this stuff. Moral of the story here is that you're leaving equipment at a certain location so you can come back later on to retrieve it in order to use it to accomplish the task at hand. So in our case as survivalists and bushcrafters, and taking the like emergency preparedness mindset out of it, what we would do is we would keep some of this stuff at a camp so we don't always have to carry it back in. Now I've been doing this since I've been a little kid. There's been fishing spots I'd go with my grandparents and I would take a little tin container and put some equipment and some gear in there, and then I would like hide it under a tree stump, and then when I'd go back, there was my equipment. So that is the same concept here. Now there's lots of different ways you can do this. You can do this with a bucket. You can do this with something like this. This is a 5 or 6 inch piece PVC pipe, about 2 foot long. The end is capped, and then you can keep this around camp. You can also use a variety of different containers, or you can just stick the stuff under logs and stumps around camp, hoping people don't find it as they travel through. Now you got to be aware when you do this. If you bury something like this in a public place and it's found, the bomb squad's probably going to get called because this thing looks absolutely gnarly. But where I'm at in rural Pennsylvania here, I mean, the probability somebody's going to find this thing is slim to none, but still you got to be careful with that. So little history on just this tube itself. So I made this thing up as an experiment to put survival equipment in. It was backup equipment that when I went to my most favorite camp that I had when I was younger, if I didn't have something, I can always open this up and utilize it at camp. It ended up being in the ground for around 10 years. I then pulled it out, I opened it up, I must have sealed it back up with stuff inside. I'm assuming it's all the equipment that I put in 10 years or 12 years ago, because this thing has been sitting around now for about 2 years. So time frame might be off a little bit, but this has been going pretty strong for a while now. So that is why it looks the way it is. So it's just PVC pipe, capped on both ends, and ready to go. Now with something like this, what I also always had buried right along with this, and it wasn't buried super deep, it was like maybe 6 inches under the dirt, under a log, was a pipe wrench. And I'd take the pipe wrench and I'd open up the end. But when I brought this here to the school today, I don't have a pipe wrench here and I can't open this thing, it's on tight. So we're gonna try to just open it with a strap wrench, and then we're gonna look at what's inside. So this might be terrible because this is a long time ago, and this is before Coalcracker really knew all the Coalcracker stuff, and I was still in developmental phases of becoming so smart. So let's go through it. And then the ultimate goal here though, after we go through this stuff, is I'm going to refill this. I think we're going to do that in another video, because we're going to be putting a stash camp with this and a bucket stash camp here on the school property for a class next year. So we want to have that stuff all squared away, and we're going to do that this coming weekend. So I need to go through this, see what stuff's in here, and then refill it. But for this video, we're gonna, like I said, take that trip down memory lane and bust this thing open. Let's see here. Definitely not the right tool for the job, but got it done. All right, should be able to get the rest out by hand. All right, are we all excited? I'm excited. This is like, it's literally like a time capsule. All right, so does it, it doesn't, a little bit of a musty odor to it. So if there's like any kind of food supply in here, I'm not eating that. All right, water bottle. No lid, but water bottle. So that definitely usable. All right, next. MRE heater. So I'm assuming I have food in here, which I do. What is this? So this is beef stew, and I don't know anything else about it, but it seems okay. So I guess if it was absolute worst case scenario, I would maybe think about eating that. It feels like there's some moisture. Is there? No moisture. Pair of socks in a Ziploc bag. Let's see if they're dry. Well, they're gonna be dry. Everything's dry in here. I just feel, yep, they're good. And that was a long time ago. I haven't wore white Hanes socks in years. So I've got white Hanes socks in there. Nails, a little bag of nails. Glow stick, or chem light to be more tactical, I guess. And then we have here's the lid for my water bottle, pretty cool. Got that in there. Soup can, I'm gonna say the reason that was in there is so I had a can to boil water or cook food. So I have that in there. I have one of these. This was the aviation fire kits. If you've never seen one of these, I could do a separate video, but they're pretty neat little kits. They come with a fire starter, like they're little like fire plug looking things. And then there's also a spark thing in there. Let's see, that thing is all gummed up. So let's see if we get this thing to work. It's like rusted on the one side, but I know, oh, there, some spark, come on. No, can we get this? See if we get it to work. Oh, there we go, a little bit of spark. Little bit of spark. Would it get, I don't know, maybe we get a fire starter, but that's what's in here. So we got one of them. That thing is super old because I remember I got this when I was like 8 or 10 years old. So that thing is old. All right, got a lighter in here. I'm proud of myself so far overall with this situation. Lighter, that's locked up. That is locked up. So it looks like the little ferro rod that sticks up for the striker is absolutely locked in place, but you break it free. Nope, now I broke the whole thing. So lighter, that's down, that's 10 years, no good. All right, what else we got? Oh, this thing is loaded up. We do have magnesium block. So this was, again, this is an old kit. So this is back when, not even ferro rod days. Long time, right? I have cotton balls and Vaseline in a film container, and I have some jute twine with some duct tape. So that's a pretty good little kit there. Other than I would have never thought that the striker on this would have went, but it did. Okay, so what else we got in here? Let's do this. All right, we have, this is where it starts getting moldy and musty, because look at this. I don't know what happened there, but this was a utility knife. I don't know, that's pure mold. I'm probably gonna die by next week. All right, we have a saw. This is where, I guess moisture got in, because look at that, it's all crusty. That is no good. And then we have, it just stinks. It definitely stinks down there. We have a spoon, and then this is a tarp. See, the tarp's all wet, so moisture definitely was in here. Tarp with a ridge line with extra plastic for to lay down on or something. So this thing started out good. It went downhill real quick. All right, so overall, if we didn't have all the mildew in there, I'm happy with the kit. We have a way to make fire, multiple ways to make fire. So even though my lighter's broke, we scratched that, we still have 2 other ways to make fire. So definitely a positive there. The food, would I eat it? I know how long this has been in here, so we're gonna scratch the food, say no to that. But I have a can to cook in. I have water bottle that I can boil water in. I have dry socks, and all of my tools though are pretty much shot. My tarp, there's nothing wrong with it, just all crusty and moldy, so I have a shelter. So I'm gonna give myself a 5 out of 10. The kit overall, good. I had everything, and I had fire, water, shelter, food, so that's really what we're looking for when it comes to building out a kit like this. Time just got to it. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of exploring as to why moisture would have got in this thing, because this would have been glued with PVC pipe glue and then all pushed together. So I'm thinking maybe I put something in there that had moisture already to it, or if you know, maybe, I don't know. I don't know what it would be, because I just don't know. So, but hey, good trip down memory lanes. All right, if you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe down below. You can also check us out at coalcrackerbushcraft.com for all our classes, our gear, and our blog. And until next video, stay in the woods.